Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today is day 4 of turning 50k into rupees 1 lakh challenge series. So once again, because of me being in Bangalore and for the tripping purposes, I was not able to um, record how I didn't get time to phase record simultaneously when I was taking the trade. And it's kind of bummer because every time when you trade live, um, like that gives me much more satisfaction because whatever I'm thinking, I'm able to talk it out aloud to the cam then and then. So for the documentation purposes, that really helps. But regardless of that, anyways, I did take a trade today, and it's fair to say that today was a pretty good day. And this is day 4. We closed today with a profit of around 23,000. And let me tell you, this was not flawless. Not flawless. This wasn't an effortless trade like the day 3 was. It gave me a lot of up and downs, but finally I managed to somehow, capture a good. I got a little bit lucky at the end. I'll tell you about that as well if you stick to the end. But I'll tell you how exactly I reached here. There was a bunch of changes in my plans in between the trade because a bunch of things failed. So I kept, readjusting my positions and analysis and everything. And finally, whatever felt most appropriate, I exited as soon as possible. And somehow I was able to make this as day 4's overall P&L. So before further ado, I'll just get right into the video. So this is basically the screen recording that I took of today. As you can see, this was recorded at 9:15 a.m. At 22nd July. So I don't think I'll be posting it. By the time I finish editing, it might be another 1 or 2 days. But by the time when I get to post it, anyways, you'll get to see it. Still, this is the day 4 video, anyways. So yeah, because day 4, we count days by the number of days I show up in the trading game and not otherwise. Anyways, so as I said before, this was a very long day because nearly 2 hours it took me before I closed this trade. So I'll just start playing the video. So how I took this analysis, as you can see, the very first thing I did was I went to the day, the 1-day candlesticks. So what I observed in the 1-day candlesticks was the previous day, 21st, actually did have a pullback and it closed as a green candle. And today opened right at the resistance of the EMA zone right here. So it was a clear indication to me that already the market has been bearish recently in the last week. And if one candle basically, in the 1-day candle of the previous day did come, try to close a little bit on the positive side just so that it could grab some liquidity possibly in the daily charts. So it does make sense that in the next resistance, when all these orders out here are executed, then it's going to start coming back downwards, right? Maybe if not all the way till down, because I don't know, in such a macroscopic level I'm not sure, but at least in the microscopic level I can say that if it's taking resistance from here, then it's fair to enter for a trade right here and look for the next strong support zone like the one that I see here. At least till here I could catch a trade, and that was my plan. Yeah, this could be in the best case scenario, but at least till here, which is more than enough for me as a option trader on a daily basis when I'm doing it. Like, this is more than enough for me. So this was a pretty fair simple analysis for me from the daily charts. So I saw that in the daily charts, and then I came to the 1-minute candlestick charts, as you can see right here, and I saw the very first candle started dropping a little bit. So I just wait for the very first pullback, and at the very first pullback on the second or third candle, I entered my trade then and there. And as you can see, the trade was entered. I'm not going to play this whole video like this because again, I had a lot of things going on in my mind when I was taking this trade. So if I had the opportunity to record this when I was taking it simultaneously, that would have been really good because there were a lot of analysis going on in my mind. But right now, it's been how many, some 9 hours before I recorded this. So still, I'm just trying to recollect whatever I remember from there, but otherwise I'll just still end up showing you like what went through my mind process, so you can see it, because this was a pretty good trade. And I do not care about the number, like overall P&L does not matter. What matters to me is that I closed in the green zone today as well. So that's success, and I stuck to the trading plan, which is a success. That's all I think of. Like, I don't care about anything else. So I'll just start playing the video, and you can see I already did enter this position, and trade was pretty fair and square from here. Let me just check if I can fast forward a little bit. Yeah, playback speed, keep it a little bit too. All right. So the trade was playing out pretty well. There was not a problem until here. Maybe there could be a support from this EMA. So I just waited to see how that plays out, and I think it wasn't much of a problem, as you can see. Initially the support from the EMA obviously would play some issue, but the thing is, on the bigger scale, right? My plan was there is some buy support zone that was being constructed over here. So as soon as this support, I knew that on the bigger scale, on the higher time frames, I saw that the market is very much bearish. So I trust the trend, because trend is your friend, as I even have said this in the very first video if I remember correctly. So I just trust my analysis, and I was just waiting for this part to just break down. So once and for all, when this support breaks down, then I was ready to enter more quantities into this level, and that was my plan, as you can see right here. I went for that, and yeah, I think as soon as I entered the quantity. I think you just saw the nifty message right there, because as soon as it started breaking past this level, I entered the quantity. I didn't enter a little bit early. I should have waited until this candlestick closed below this level, but I did not do that. That was a mistake, but that's all right. I still entered because ultimately I knew I'm not trying to capture like 1 or 2 points. I was looking for a fair decent amount of points, so it should play in my favor. I was pretty okay with that. And anyways, the trade started going on, as you can see right here. In between, I'm checking I entered some more quantities, I guess, in between. Yeah, in the next pullback I saw an opportunity somewhere over here, so I entered some more quantities. And finally I was waiting for this support zone. It was coming back to the zone. So once it might mitigate once, but if the after the first mitigation it was coming around the same point for the second time, that mostly means it's gonna just break down that level in that spot, right? So I was just waiting for that to happen, and the first mitigation was done now. So if the second time, if it comes to touch this zone, I was pretty certain that it's gonna break down this level. So I just held, trusted my analysis and waited, checked the high time frame, and finally in the third or fourth time when it's coming ahead, it started breaking down that support level, and that's all I needed. So there we go, and I was waiting for the trade to play out again. There was still some problem here. I was trying to observe a trend maybe for somewhere around here in the time analysis chart. But yeah, fair and square, it finally broke down and it started falling in my direction. Now the next issue I will face is in this purple area from our previously marked support zones. A pretty very good demand zone this was. So I had already marked that before, like in the 2-3 days before. Like if you watch my previous videos, you will see that. So that I did suspect would be a problem, but I was just waiting for that level breakdown to happen as well, because I know eventually the breakdown is going to happen, but I just need to be patient. That's why this trade went much more longer than I expected. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and you can see, like, as you would have just seen right now, I think, yeah, I was around 5k running profit of 450 position. Fair and square, like, to be honest, 5k is all I target on a daily basis. Like, I mean, like, I just target on closing green zone. That's a complete honesty. But if I get around 5k, that's decent. Like, that means I can exit, because that's more than sufficient for a trader of my scale, and I'm very happy with that. But when I see a position, like when I see more opportunity, I always, if there is a good momentum, then I tend to wait and see if that opportunity plays in my favor. If not, I'm still fine closing with another 1 or 2k profit. That does not matter. So that was my psychology going at this, playing out when I was playing this trade. And then, as usual, I was waiting for this purple support zone to finally get broken. And then, as you can see, the trade keeps playing out. The first mitigation, it's coming around that point, and there we go, around 8,000 running profit I was having at that time. In this previous swing low that I got from, this was the candle that I did feel like this would be the first touch that would do the first target. So I was waiting for Nifty to fall up to that level first and see if my premium gives me any significant the number of points that I suspect I would actually want to get. So I waited and started breaking down this level, which is a pretty good sign. And obviously there is some support from the rectangular zone because of the ending point there. And finally, as soon as the previous swing low came, this is when the next support will take place. And I felt like there's a good momentum. So if I wait for maybe another 15-20 minutes, I can even get a longer target. That was my aim. So I extended my target at that time, even though obviously support will be taking at this zone right here. I was pretty sure about that. It might bounce back a little bit after this, but I was playing the long game, so I was ready to wait for it. So I started holding the trade, over and over again. And I'm sorry if I'm speaking too fast, because I just want to get the because the video is going too fast, right? So I'm just trying to catch up. So obviously, here we go. This candle is obviously like a classic liquidity sweeping kind of candle. In the bigger scale, this isn't gonna affect me much, but on the smaller scale, the premium value obviously did, for a shorter period of time, did melt off quickly in this time, I remember, because it was like the market was reversing. And I remember almost the 10,000 running profits I had almost went up to zero, near about, right? Yeah. Let me just take a look there. Yeah, see, as you can see, if you would have seen somewhere over here, it was around 180 rupees or something like that's it. And at that point, what I did is I just decided, like, it's going too high, and that is where my psychology actually got a little bit messed up. And I ended up just, because I did not want to close the trade in the red zone, because, and it's fine closing in red zone, but ultimately my aim is to stay profitable. So I thought, you know what, I'll just end the day with a profit of just 180 rupees. That does not matter, but at least in the green zone, and that's all I went for. So I ended the trade right there at the green zone, which is like 180 rupees, which is fair and square. But what happened is I let my psychology, like, I basically gave into that inner bitch voice, and which is why I closed that trade, because obviously on a macroscopic level, on the higher time frames, I was very certain that the market is bearish and this day is going to close much lower than where it started. I should have trusted my instinct and waited. But obviously the bit sound, sometimes all of us do fall prey to it. That happened to me as well, and that happened. So yeah, and that happened. But yeah, obviously after that, the market started falling back again. Then I was like, okay, I made a mistake, and there is obviously, I should trust my instincts. Like, if I even enter now on some other put option, then I might be able to, maybe if not the initial profit that I aimed off, at least I might be able to capture another 10-20 points, and that's fair. So I thought I did see a good opportunity to close profitable today, like not just like in the green zone, but in a decent profitable zone. So I decided to enter with a couple of quantities in the next, in another trade right here. I think somewhere over here you would have seen that I just entered. I do not remember which option that was. Let me take a look. Yeah, I entered the trade somewhere over. Okay, it's very difficult to navigate through this. I think I should separately make a recording of my the page where it shows my portfolio as well, because then I'll be able to side by side show when exactly I entered the trade and everything. But that's all right. Anyways, like, when I saw the next pullback and some more little bit when it was going in the upper direction, shorter time frame, I thought that would be an appropriate time, because to confirm I can buy another put option, and again think on the maybe not hold too long in the trade, because now my risk is much more, because I did not get an entry somewhere over here. I started entering only somewhere over here, which is much more riskier, because even though in the macroscopic level it's going to come and close down much below, in the meanwhile it might even go upwards, and that might show me a lot of losses on my portfolio, which is not advisable. I do not want that, because the key to making money, get this, is protecting your damn capital. So it's as simple as that, right? But most of us still keep messing the psychology and just messing it up, which is why I keep repeating, the key to making money is protecting your capital. So I kept that in my mind. So rather than risking too much, I thought I'll just aim for a shorter capturing shorter number of points in the put option. So I went for the trade, and the trade plays out again, as you can see right here. And finally the bearishness started showing up again, and the next pull down started coming. Obviously it's coming, and that zone right here is obviously again a pretty major demand zone for me. So it might even pull back from here, and I was ready to face that. But as you can see right here, I was running at a profit of around 7,000 rupees, right? Wait, I'll just show that. Yeah. Oh, I closed pretty soon. Yeah, what is this? And yeah, so this was the next put option. So initially I ended 25,200 put, but then once my inner bitch voice took me out of the trade, and then when I found myself, basically by maintaining my psychology, I was able to get see the things from the bigger scale in the long game, and then I was able to finally get into the trade of the next put option, which was for the 25,100. So I got into that with 525 position, pretty decent, and I was running at a profit of around 7,500 ish. So previous in this 184 closed one, like I was near about my target, like near about like 12,000 or something I did reach, but it just got reversed and I could not hold it. I just cut it off. If I did hold it again, it would have come back to the profits, but since I cut it at 184, that was over. But I entered a new trade thinking I'll just close even 5,000 profit, that is fine, but I saw enough momentum, so I thought I might as well hold it now, and I entered that I was at a running profit of 7,500 in this put option as well. So that's how we entered that trade. And obviously this demand zone, it is pretty strong. So I waited, to see what happens here. Will it break down now or go back up? And obviously, just like this, it was planning to go back once again. And my profits were getting eaten up again, as you just might have seen. It went up to around 4,000 rupees. But I still decided not to let my inner bitch voice back me out of this trade, and rather I'll stay strong. Within this trade, 5,000 rupees, it does not matter. Even if the profits are being eaten up, I'm playing this for the long game and I'm going to hold that trade. And I was ready for in that mindset, because I knew my analysis in the higher time frames is going to really play in my favor. So I was pretty ready for that. And as you can see there, I was just waiting for this zone to break down. This played me out a lot. It gave me a lot of times. The market didn't move very easily today. It went a lot of times, a lot of orders were it kept on grabbing a lot of liquidity here and here, multiple times when the trade kept playing out. But on the higher time frames, it was looking pretty good. As you can see in the 5-minute candlestick, it was looking very good. Only 1 minute obviously plays. That's why I always think it's better to trade in 5-minute candles as well. But yeah, 1 minute gives you much more precise entry and exit. That's why I open the 1 minute charts when it comes to option trading specifically. Otherwise, I barely open 1 minute even when I do crypto and everything, right? So we were in the trade around 7,000 running profit. We were ready to close it. If it crossed around 10,000, that's what I was thinking initially. But I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And what happened is this trade would just never close. And it just kept going back again, and I was sure it wouldn't go too much, and it was eating up my profits right here. I was tempted to close it at one point. I think I'm showing the terminal somewhere over here. Yeah, I don't know how many of you saw that. Yeah, profits came back to around 3,000 rupees. So I was very much tempted to close this. By the way, later on in the video, I think this came up to break even, a little bit loss of 500 rupees or so. But I still did not close it because I was really very sure that in the long term, the market is bearish. So if I wait for sufficient amount of time, which was nearly another 1 hour, I knew it would play out in my favor. So I just went for it. Because this kind of confidence you'll get only when you understand the market on the higher time frames, and that comes through experience. In my in my opinion, it comes through experience in the sense the more and more days you show up and analyze the market, the more and more you start understanding that market, and then you'll be more comfortable with it, and then you'll be able to really understand which is the losing trade and which is the winning trade, and accordingly hold the winning trades and let go of the losing trades regardless of whether it's profit or loss. Because our mindset is becoming a successful trader is basically following a trading plan by understanding the markets perfectly, and not just holding it for the sake of holding it, because that is stupid. And so my analysis was pinpoint, so I went with my guts and I held the trade even if there was a pullback. And I waited and waited, and I was wondering if, since a pullback is coming, this might be a very good time for me to average this trade, because I'm very certain that this is a winning trade. Because in the long run, this is gonna start falling. So if I capture, this is my best entry in this massive pullback, I can enter more quantities and then wait for a bigger downfall, right, in the market. So I think somewhere later on in the trade, I decided to add some more quantities as well. I'm not sure if it was now. Yeah, see, profits were now 2,000 rupees, very much eaten up. But yeah, it started supporting in this particular trend line. So I just waited in that zone. Let's see what happens. Yeah, pullback is coming, 2,000 something profits. I kept waiting for a very long time, And eventually what I did is in the next, one of those pullbacks right here, when this pullback came and the next prominent supply zone was approaching, I decided to add some more quantities right here. So my profits were almost all eaten up. As you can see, it was just barely 500 rupees back, and this is the second time it is happening today. Like first it showed me around 10,000 profits, but I could not close that trade, so I came to bear profit like just 100 rupees. But then I entered the second trade, but this time suppressing my inner bitch voice and letting the the professional trader voice out, and I went for it. And then just I waited for this pullback. I thought this is the perfect time. Obviously the premium is not going to move much like before, so I thought if I can add more quantities, then I can capture lesser points and get out in the next demand zone. And this is fairly, like, if your analysis is pinpoint, then it very much makes sense to do this. And this thought process came to me when I was during the trade. I did not plan this beforehand. This came during the trade, only during the trade. So then I waited, and I think I saw like this might be one of the best positions to enter, and that's when I bought another 525 quantities more. So I doubled my quantities, and I was ready for the next, and I was pretty sure the market will actually fall at least till this level right here. It better not, I'm not sure. I mean, as per my analysis, it should definitely fall below this level on the higher time frames, but at least guaranteed output is once it sweeps all the like when it comes over here, the selling pressure will massively increase, and more sellers will enter the market. They'll keep selling everything, and the price is going to market is going to then keep becoming more and more to the discounted side rather from the premium side. So once it keeps coming more and more to the discounted side, that means it's until unless this major demand zone is approached, then only then the buyers will, the bulls in the market will be able to have a standing chance against the bears. So I was very fair. At least until this zone, I can hold for sure. So if once I get, even though the premium will not now be as volatile as in the beginning of the market, because it's towards like 1 hour in the market already and 1 or 2 days before the expiry. So obviously you cannot expect the premiums to shoot up very much, like unless there's a very good momentum. So I was like, that's fair. So instead of going for like a 40 points capturing in the premium, which is what I was hoping in my first trade, but since that opportunity was already lost, I thought I might as well just capture like 10 or 20 points and still be okay with it, because now I have more quantities and still and I'm exiting at the guaranteed zone. So that was my plan, and I will hold the trade, I thought, even at the guaranteed zone, provided if there is very good momentum. So I just went for it. And now the thing is, we have to be very patient. No matter how much you play, you have to you cannot time the market. See, as you can see, I was in a loss of around 700 rupees, but that's fine. Just wait. You have to be very patient, because the market has its own rhythm and you cannot control the movement of the market, right? What you do is that you just identify which direction the market is ultimately moving on the higher time frames and on the macroscopic level, and then you just jump along like a small fish in the sea and just sit in the current, so that you just allow the market to take you with its flow, and then you just effortlessly move in the direction of the market and make money when the bigger fishes in the ocean just keep moving, bringing the waves in the ocean. You, the smaller fish, just sit right there and let the currents take you to the destination, and you make money in the process. It's fair and it's very simple in my opinion. So that's all I did as well. So I just waited for the market, for the flow to just come. So now see, I'm at 100 rupees profit, maybe a little loss over here. It did not matter to me. I thought, I'm in this for the long run, so let's just wait for the current to take me where I want to be. So that's what I did. And ultimately, as you can see, when I was being patient enough, the market started falling back to the levels that I wanted. Obviously, it's not like a one-sided sound, because market moves in zigzag motion. All of us know that, and I've shown you that in all of my previous videos, and I hope all of you have learned that obviously by now. So I kept just giving market its time, being patient, and I waited for this next demand zone right here, and market is approaching. And what happened right now is market started respecting a new demand zone, a smaller one, but it was coming out to be much stronger, like for last 5 minutes. It's fair though, but still I was running at a profit around 5,000, 6,000 rupees. And to be very fair, I was very tempted to close the trade there, but I still remembered that's the inner bitch voice, boys, bro. So inner bitch voice, and hell with that voice. You have to trust your analysis, and you have becoming a good trader means, you know, following it basically means following your trading plan and sticking with your goals, and leaving your emotions out of the market, and not letting basically you should not, you know, trade with the money that you need for on a day-to-day living basis. Rather trade with the money that you know is like bonus, and it's fine with you, even if, you know, this money, even if you cannot withdraw this money for the next 2-3 years, even that's how I consider. So it's okay for me. So that basically takes out all the stress from my head, and I'm able to like very effortlessly and just, you know, trade, like just looking at the charts and just passionately trade by enjoying that process and really loving the game, because I'm really just trying to you know, love this entire analysis part, and that's really fascinating, right? And that's what I just focus on a day-to-day basis too. So I just, you know, continued waiting. Obviously, market started pulling back, broke that new demand zone, and started respecting the old demand zone. I was pretty certain that it'll break that too at some point, but I don't know when. And then there you go. With enough time, when I started waiting, it started breaking down the demand zone with a good enough momentum, and I knew this might be a problem for another demand, like the low of the previous swing point. But again, you know, what I did think is, ultimately, if it came all the way till here, then obviously I can you know, extend the take profit a little more, at least for the Nifty. I'm saying, because premium is already running in the back. So I think basically I had my averaged entry was around 65. Both the quantities I entered at 65 rupees for the premium 25,100 put, was it, whatever. 65 rupees was my entry, and I had 525 quantities in the first entry, and then after it went all the way down and then came back to the supply zone, I knew it can't go beyond it. So there I entered the next 525 quantities, making a total of 1050 quantities. And that's what I was trading with right now. So my goal was, I will close the 65 at 75, so make a total of around roughly 10,000, 11,000 rupees, and that's pretty cool. But what ended up happening is, when I saw the momentum, I thought I might even be able to hold this. Instead of 75, I can close it at 80. First, that's what I thought. Then I kept holding this trade much more longer, and I thought this might even go up to 85. And later on, you might see, I don't remember when it was, that 85 basically came up to 84.34 or 5 or something in the premium, and then it bounced back again. And I was like, oh man, shoot, I missed another exit, like once again on the same day. And I was like pretty bummed about that, because nearly 15,000 rupees profit, I could not take it, and it started going back to around 7,000 rupees. But I thought, you know what, 84 level actually showed like a good resistance in that premium, I remember, because around 2-3 times it hit on the same day. So I thought, look, yeah, that was my mistake. Rather than exiting at 85, I should have aimed for 84. So this time I actually aimed for 84, and I waited for the next pullback, and I was just ready to get out at 84. But what happens next is like pretty fabulous. So obviously this pullback happened right at my take profit. As you can see, it hit and then it started reversing. And what happened is, at here it went up to 84, that 84.4 or something that I said, and just by 0.6 or something I missed my target. So instead of closing at 15,000 profit, it was back at like 5,000, 6,000, I don't remember, something like that. But it was all right. I still waited. I waited. I think I'm showing the, you know, portfolio somewhere over there. Let me just take a look at that. Yeah. If you can see right there, it was running at a profit around 8,000 rupees right here, and it pulled back. Basically it went up to 72. So 65 was my entry for both quantities, so average 65 only, obviously, and 72 is the current market level. So I wanted to capture now. My target is 84. 85 is what I kept, but I missed it. So I have set the target somewhere, if I remember. I cannot see it here, but yeah, obviously you cannot see it here. But in sell orders, I modified it and I kept it to 84, and that was my like, I'm not gonna aim any more higher now, because I've been in the market for like 2 hours today, and it was like very, very, very hectic. So I thought I might as well just exit on this day. I'm talking too fast a little bit. I'll just get some water. Anyways, so that happened, and I was like, I'm gonna exit this time definitely at 84, and I went for that. So I set again at 84, and I was just waiting for the market for the pullback to come again. I was pretty certain to this previous swing low, it has to come at some point of time. So I kept waiting, and waiting, analyzed the higher time frames, everything still looking bearish and very good. I waited more, and I was like, come on, like literally one last shot at this. I missed the previous target by 1 point. There you go, right here. So now I'm just, come on, like one last shot at this. I just wanted to go for it, and I put this in the text because I was thinking that time I should, since I could not record it live and tell it to you, so I thought I might as well, when I'm actually recording the screen recording of my screen, I thought I might just read it out from the text and remember what I was thinking at that time. And that happened. I was waiting. I was back at like 12,000 profits that like you just saw now, and I was just waiting for the market to come in my favor. And it's very close. The 12,000, I think it even came something around 15,000-ish, but I did not close because I had a very good feeling that 84 has to be my exit, because that was the previous high at the premium. So I should just wait for that. So I went for that. And as you can see, market started falling again, and it's at around 14,000 at 79. So I could have closed at 80 points and then take home like 15,000 profit, but I did not do that. Rather, I kept holding it and eventually what happened is, with being patient enough, what the hell am I saying, bro? Being patient enough, I was like, right, just 4 more points. Yeah, I was this close at 83, 19,000. So I was like, I'm ready, right? I was ready, and I did exit. It basically did hit 84. But this is where something stupid happened. And I literally put and finally few, because my order got exited. Like I got a notification. Obviously that was in the previous slides, previous frames, but I got a notification saying order exited, and I was like finally exited the trade. But when I checked, I was like, why is it 19,000 though? Shouldn't it be like 20,000? But it's all right. I thought, why? Most time I made this mistake of trying to round the number, and that really eats up all your profits. So that's very stupid. So rather than getting to the round figure, I thought 90,000 is pretty decent, and I'm happy with it. But the mistake, what happened was, when I tried to go and check, the reason why it was at 19,000 was because the trade wasn't closed. But I was like, how the hell is that possible? But when I read it and analyze, I did actually come across the stupid mistake that I made. This happens sometimes, but anyways, it happens to almost all of us. And the stupid mistake was that I placed a sell order for only half the quantities and not the remaining half quantities. And I did not realize this because the only 525 quantities are entered first, and I only had placed the sell order for those. The remaining new 525 quantities that I entered later on when the next pullback, I just completely forgot about that quantities, like it existed, and that was stupid. That's why some of the points, when it went back to the remaining half quantities went back to 82.6, and that's why the profit got a little more eaten away. So I was like, oh shit, I did not close it. However though, obviously market is bearish, and I thought this is like a good opportunity to hold for another 5 more points. So I increased that for these 525 quantities. I grabbed that opportunity, and I basically, instead of exit of 84, I made it to exit of 90, and then I waited for the next fall. And the price, as it did happen, it went in my favor. And yeah, the breakdown finally that I was waiting for so long finally did happen. And eventually what happens is, as you can see, yeah, the put delivery sell order for the rest 525 quantity at ₹90 also got executed on NSE. And that was it. I looked at my profits, I'm like, oh my god, just because of a rookie mistake I made, I got lucky. This is pure luck. I basically made like a free 3,000 rupees bonus just because of my stupid mistake. But it could have also gone the other way, right? But today, because it was a proper bearish market and it was really in support of my analysis, it really played in my favor, and that rookie mistake actually made me a bonus 3,000 rupees. Like, I don't really care about that, but it's just a fun thing that I came across, and I thought I should have mentioned that as well. So finally, that's how we closed the day, a total of 23,000 rupees and 284, blah blah blah. So this is day 4 of my turning rupees 50,000 into rupees 1 lakh trading challenge series. I don't know why I showed 4, but you get the point. So right now, I think at the time of recording, before calculating this profits, before taking this account, this profit into account, I think the balance of like the 50,000 account has currently grown up to a size of around I mean, not 50,000, yeah, like just before taking this profit into account, it's around 70,000, like 69,000 something, but because of the charges. So basically you can round it up to around 70,000. And after this gets credited to my account, which will happen by tonight or tomorrow morning or whatever, then the our entire account size will become around 90,000 plus 93,000. So we are close to our goal. But this does not change anything. Again, I know I have made like a series. I'm basically doing a series where I'm trying to turn rupees 50,000 into rupees 1 lakh rupees. I know about that. But however, though, like the goal is ultimately to become a better trader every single day. Keep improvising on your skills, keep getting better at your entry, getting better at your exit, getting better at your mindset and psychology, trading psychology, pre-trading duration, and during trading, and even after trading. Like, the basically pre and during and post, all of them are very important when it comes to trading. And when you get a balance between all of these different timelines, then you will start observing that every single day you're growing mentally, and you start becoming a better trader every single day. And that's the goal. Like, it does not matter if you take a loss, but as long as you take a loss as per the loss that you wanted to take. If you take the loss as per your analysis, as per your stop loss, if you take loss, then that still makes you a successful trader. But if you get a profit without analysis and by mistake, then that does not make you a good profit. That just makes you lucky, and that's not gonna sustain too. In the same ways, if you get a loss which was not taken into account as per your analysis, then that definitely makes you a much worse trader. But if you take losses as per your analysis, and if you take your profits also as per your analysis, that definitely makes you a successful trader, and that's all that matters. So basically my point is, like, this bonus 3,000, I'm not even considering. 20,000 is actually the only profit that I actually made today, but that's fine. Maybe I would consider, like, I'm gonna be grateful to it, because it's probably the universe's way of giving it to me, because I was putting in the efforts. I know it might be stupid to hear that, but I kind of believe in that sometimes. Anyways, but the point is, like, becoming a successful trader basically means taking profits as well as losses as per your analysis. And that's the takeaway for today's lesson of day 4. So that is it from my side today, and I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on day 5. See ya.